and database creating an API. So yesterday we created an API in Node.js with Express as middleware. We created a business layer in our server app. So this is our server side application. We created a business layer. So we start the business layer, then node business layer .js. It starts the server. So once the server is started, let's open any browser. Actually, we can test from several API testing tools. Here we are using http://localhost, and or here our server is 127.0.0.1:8080, and get products. Get products is returning the data. This is the data. Yesterday we created that. Yeah. Anglers. Yeah, this is the full stack example I uploaded yesterday, right? In this, we created this. Failed to connect the server here. Some issue is there. Once I will start the Mongo server. MongoDB server is not running, so I will start that MongoDB server. Okay. Once the MongoDB server is running, then this should get the data. It should get the data and display the data, right? So this API is returning the data. Yesterday I given you the code of all this process what we have done, and we created two API requests actually: get products and add products. Add products is expecting two details: the name and price. So first important, we need to use these two URLs and consume the data and interact with the data, right? How we can access, consume, and interact with the data. Let's see that. So that means now today we need to understand how do we consume in Angular. So we need to understand how do we consume API in Angular. How do we consume the APIs in Angular? Actually, for that, we need some important options. So we need a HTTP client module. The purpose of this HTTP client module is nothing but it provides a set of properties and methods that are used to make an HTTP request from client application. to any server side API, actually, any server side API. So generally what we do is we import private HTTP as a HTTP client. So once you import this HTTP client through HTTP, through this HTTP, you can handle the request like GET. You can handle the request like POST. These options we can handle. That is the HTTP client module. And while dealing with the request, if there are any technical issues, so then we can use an HTTP error response. We can use an HTTP error response. Actually, it tracks the activities. It tracks the activities performed through HTTP client, through HTTP client request, and catch the errors, catch the error, catch the error. So that is the purpose of HTTP response, actually. So that means what you can do is we can create an error. We can create an error which is of type HTTP error response. Through that error, we can access status code. Status codes like 404. So bad request like, and we can even access like status text like not found, all these things. That is how we actually deal with the response. So client module for handling the requests, and response module, error response module to track the problems inside it. Actually, you have to use an RxJS library. So technically, RxJS library, actually what the purpose of RxJS is, it is a reactive extension JavaScript library. Actually, it is used to handle. So it is used to handle and configure. So configure asynchronous calls from asynchronous calls from client app. Actually, it is a library of JavaScript which you can use everywhere, not only in Angular. So RxJS is not a part of Angular. It is used in Angular for asynchronous calls. It is used in every client-side technology for making asynchronous calls, asynchronous callbacks. So means this is an asynchronous library available, right? So this is not a part of Angular. It is integrated into Angular. This library is internally available. Otherwise, we need to download RxJS and we need to use RxJS. One of the advantages with Angular is it is inbuilt available. We can use them. Actually, RxJS provides an observable. It identifies the data returned on request. It identifies the data returned on request. So RxJS uses an observable which identifies the data returned on request, and it provides a subscriber. We call subscribe. So this subscribe, it executes the asynchronous method, async method, and it provides catch error, throw error like options. Actually, catch error and throw error are provided by RxJS operators. operators to catch